Hi everyone. So I am going to be continuing my story called Coming Home to You, which is on worthyofpublisher.com. As well, if you don't want to just hear me talking about my story and reading it, you can read it on that site. So today we'll be doing chapter 1, which is called Those Small Things. I'm just waiting for this to load. So anyway, I will start. I was outside, waiting to be picked up by my best friend Carolyn. We were going shopping today. We did that every Saturday in the summer. It was just our version of making the summertime count. We did lots of things together over the years. There was the annual snowball fight during the winter, the animal farm in the spring, the shopping sprees, and pool parties during the summer, and finally trick-or-treating with a couple other people in the fall. And today was one of those days when all I could do was concentrate on how much fun Caroline and I were going to have together. It was a cool day in Pennsylvania. The temperature was 21 degrees, with a little wind. For me, it couldn't get any better than this. I was wearing a blue tank top along with a pair of old black shorts that should have grown out of a long time ago, and blue flip-flops. My brown hair was tied up in a neat ponytail, and my bangs were moved slightly behind my ear. Carolyn's mom finally pulled up, and I jumped off the bench on the porch. Racing down the driveway, I caught a glimpse of my dad waving at me. I stopped at the end of the driveway and carefully got inside the van, only to be greeted by an overexcited Carolyn. "Hey, Eve!" she exclaimed excitedly. "Are you excited?" I looked at her after putting on my seatbelt and produced a loud smile. Yeah, who wouldn't be?" Carolyn squealed. "Oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun." I laughed. That was Carolyn, always ready for anything, which can be handy if you're the type that doesn't really take the time to prepare for anything. As we pulled away from the driveway, Mrs. Ord turned around and flashed me one of her beautiful smiles. "Hi, Evelyn." I smiled back at her. "Hi, Mrs. Ord." She turned back around and started concentrating on her driving, while Carolyn started pounding me with conversation. "So, Eve, how much did you bring with you?" $50, I think." Carolyn's mouth fell open and she started freaking. "How did you get that much?" "Oh, odd jobs around the house, pet walking service, stuff like that." Carolyn smiled widely and rummaged through her purse. She pulled out a wallet, then a $20 bill. "Mom gave me this. I don't really have any way of making money yet. I'm looking, though." She put the money back in her wallet, then tucked it away until she would need it. I felt sorry for her and decided that it would be a good idea to help her find a job. I started thinking and suddenly remembered of a place that I had heard of that always needed a helper or two. I said, looking to the ground. "I do know one place where you could get a job." Carolyn's head shot up. "Where?" "You like flowers, right?" I already knew the answer to that question. "Yeah, duh, you know that." I smiled. "You know Wally Went's florist?" "Yeah, that's Nadia's father's store." "Exactly. She told me her father was looking for someone to help." I saw a sparkle in Carolyn's eyes as she smiled brightly. "Yes, I am so interested." I reached into the left pocket of my shorts and pulled out a cell phone and carefully dialed Nadia's number. Nadia was one of the girls I would hang out with at school. Basically, there was a group of us that hung out together during school hours and on vacation. Nadia was your average girl. She was tall, had long brown hair, green eyes, and she was the most tan person I'd ever seen. The phone rang a couple of times before she picked up. "Hello?" "Hey, Nadia, it's Ev." Nadia screeched on the other end. "Oh my goodness, is that really you?" Yep, unless you know anyone else by the name of Ev." I smiled. Nadia was always like this, even at school. "Very funny. So, what's up? Is your dad still in need of a helper in the florist shop?" Yeah, why?" I glanced at Carolyn's excited face. "I know someone who's interested." I heard her screech on the other end. "Really? Who?" "You know Carolyn Ord, right?" Yeah. She's that sweet girl who's your best friend." I smiled. Yeah, well, she's obsessed with flowers and just so happens to be looking for a job. I heard her once again shriek on the other end. That's so cool. I'm sure she'd make a great employee for the flower shop. You want to talk to her, I asked. She's right here. Definitely. I handed the phone over to Carolyn, who took it without a minute of delay. Hello? It was a few seconds before she said anything else. I know, right? I looked out the window and watched as the cars went by. I was pretty sure that we were on the highway by now, but I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah, I'm interested, Carolyn said. When do you want me? I quickly glanced over at her and saw her face glowing like a sun. That works. How much am I paid? I looked at the window again, observing all the buildings, as well as the different vehicles. Oh my goodness, that much? Well, I'm definitely interested. It was a few minutes before she spoke into the phone again. Yeah, you too. Bye. Carolyn hung up and squealed real loud. I got a job! I got a job! She chanted over and over again. I took my phone out of her hand and threw it in my pocket. I'm so glad for you, I exclaimed, giving her an awkward bear hug. How much are they paying you? Apparently Nadia's dad is desperate for a worker, so he's willing to pay me like $10 an hour for 4 hours, twice a week. Can you believe it? My mouth fell open. When are they paying you? She smiled brightly. Oh, just once a week. If I want a paycheck, I have to go on Friday to get it. I laughed. I had never met anyone so happy to get a job. Carolyn was overjoyed, as anyone could tell. I smiled, happy she got a job. It was those small things that made people happy. So, I hope you enjoyed the first chapter. I know it was a little rushed, but I did my best. So, yeah, I will be tuning you in on chapter 2 pretty soon.